of Tammuz marks the Hilula of a really famous, let's say, American rabbi. His name was Rabbi Gershom Mendes Seixas. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. It could be Seixas also. You can say it. He was born in English year 1745. I believe he passed away on Vav Tammuz, the 6th of Tammuz, in English year 1816. We're talking about 209 years ago, here from the time of recording. Now, he's going to become very famous for very simple reasons, especially among American Jewry, let's just say from United States Jewry, respectively. He was born, I believe his mother's name was Rachel Franks, came from, and his father's name was Isaac. He was born in 1745 in Rhode Island, in an area called Newport. Now, it's interesting, his father, Isaac Mendes Seixas, happened to make his living, let's just say, as a merchant, and he would come to Newport from Lisbon. This was actually being in Portugal, so he obviously came from Portuguese descent. And I think it was around the year 1763, I believe. He would be one of the founders of the famous synagogue in America called Yeshuat Israel. This is obviously based in Newport, a very, very famous one, in Rhode Island, respectively, a place that I think is a historic place where people actually visit because of its history, especially in modern day. He would grow up in Torah and among great, let's say, the famous rabbis at that stage in time in Newport. He would go on to serve as a cantor, a shliach tzibur, and would become, reported over, the first rabbi born on North American soil. So this is what I'm just reading over here from the Hayomi website. So he would take on this, let's say, rabbinic position more than 250 years ago. Now, he would get married to his wife, Rabbinit Al-Kala Kohen. It was, sadly, she passed away, and I think shortly afterwards, he would get married to become Rabbinit Hannah Manuel, and they would go on to have, it's reported, over 15 children. It's stated, I'm just reading this here from the Hayomi website. So this was after 1783, I believe. One of them happened to be another famous person of the name David Seyasas. He would go on to, I think, establish the Machon, Pennsylvania, the Chirshev al-Imim, helping people that might have different, let's just say, issues like health issues, or you could say disadvantages within regards to health, like within regards to hearing and just day-to-day life difficulties they might be having. This was based in Philadelphia. So he became famous, especially as an innovator in a startup to help other people. In the year 1775, I think it was the time period of war in America. There was the beginning of the American War of Independence, and Rabbi Gershom Mendes Seixas headed the Spanish-Portuguese community. Now, it was a famous synagogue, or the famous synagogue called Shaareit Israel synagogue over there in New York. Now, this is a place I believe we've mentioned about on several occasions before here inside this series, Sheareit Israel synagogue. I think it's a famous one, just to speak about the synagogue in of itself for a minute. I believe it was actually established, I think nowadays it's in Manhattan. It's actually based in, actually is headed by Rabbi Dr. Meir Soloveitchik at the moment, and Rabbi Dr. Mark Angel currently. And I think it was established as early from 1654 in New Amsterdam by Jews, and later on, obviously, it will be established in America, the United States of America, over there. And later on, I think various congregations, let's say, was actually opened within regards to the synagogue. There's a whole, actually, historic information about this on its website and on the Wikipedia, which I very, very much recommend everyone to read. So he would be very much part of it, become famous. And especially during the year 1776, this was approximately, he was obviously an American patriot, and he was forced to flee with most of his community to Philadelphia, obviously from the British forces at that point in time that captured, I believe, New York. Now, his brother was famous Benjamin Mendes Seixas. Also, he would serve as a lieutenant in the rifle, let's say, 1st Regiment of New York Militia. And it's reported over that his brother would be killed in battle, sadly. I think it's reported over here. I'm not too sure the exact date and the exact year, but that's what's chronicled over here on the Hayomi website, which I'm reading about. Okay, now I believe the war would go on to finish in the year 1784. Then he would return to his congregation over there, to the place he originally was in I think the community was based in Manhattan over there. In 1789, he was reported over to have been one of 14 clergymen who participated in the ceremony recognizing George Washington as the first president of the United States of America. So he was very famous, let's just say, in the entire American fabric, let's just say, of its history in its own right, even outside of the rabbinate circle. I think come 1789, famously, he would establish a custom, or he was the first one to do a Su'uda Chag HaOda'ah, like a Thanksgiving meal over there inside the synagogue. And he would give a specific drasha, a sermon for the Chag. I think it would go on to be printed in the Sichot al-Haddat, if I'm not mistaken. His sermons and his writings will be over there. And he would say, it's our duty to unite, I'll say it in English, joyfully with our heads held high in all events that may occur in the political and moral sphere, to promote everything that may contribute to the common good. As Jews, even more than others, we have a mission to return thanks to God for bringing us to such a land where we are free to act according to the dictates of our conscience, and where we can live according to the principles of our religion without any reservation. I hope I pronounced that, translated that fine, using the Hayami website over there. I used to translate it within regards to that. Now, I believe he passed away on the 6th of Tammuz in the year 1816. I believe he was buried in the New York cemetery, it's reported over. So there's actually information about him online. I think there was actually even a coin that was minted or made within regards to him. And you can actually see it on the National Library website, the Israel National Library website, a picture of this. Let's explore a few of the teachings he had from his book, this famous book, let's just say, I think it was Publications of American Jewish Historical Society, which is concentrating on him. I think this book itself was printed in the year 1920. So it says, Melamed Vilato Likro Shalom, L'Kol America V'Kol Yesheveha. It's very much connected to his sermon, I believe, with regards to America. I think, once again, from the Jewish Historical Society of New York, I think printed in 1977, there's a teaching, he said, Melamed Lirot Atzminu, Keshvuyim, Ashva'a Lachalkanu V'Mek Kedem. This is another one of his teachings. And Melamed Shekiyum Haftachot HaSeva La'atzenu Tuluya Shnishu Belev Shalem. It's another teaching, I think, from 1977, chronicled by the Jewish Historical Society of New York, religious discourse. And one last teaching, Melamed Shezachinu Largish Et Niflaot Hashgacha Rabbat HaChesed. Once again, in 1977, another teaching of wisdom within regards to rabbis. So he's arguably one of the most famous rabbis in American Jewish history that I think we have to point out. He was the founders of Shaarית Israel, the famous synagogue, which nowadays, I think, obviously one of the most famous synagogues without doubt, in Jewish history. There's a lot chronicled over about him. There's various articles also online which you can find out about and listen to. So I recommend everyone to look into it. 6th of Tammuz is his Hilula. Now, friends, we're a community here. We're learning about the famous rabbis of yesteryear. Now, if you descend from any of the great Chachamim we are speaking about, send me an email. I would love to hear more. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please subscribe to the channel now. We're nearing 7,000 subscribers, which is a phenomenal achievement. If you feel anyone's interested in watching any of these videos, share these videos, please, to other people also, so you can spread good words and learn more about the great heritage of our community. So wishing you well, take care, and have a great night. Thank you, everyone watching. Thanks.